me, when I walk into school, I get called pretty. It feels good being called that because sometimes I doubt myself and how I look. One day I was in class and this girl came up to me. She was like, "Adriel, you are so beautiful." I said thank you, but she kept on speaking. She said, "You are so light skinned and your hair is so nice and curly, and the way your hair and eye changes in the sun." Then she said, "Compared to you, I'm so dark skinned and ugly." So I was kind of astonished by what she said about herself because when I look at people, I see individuality. And I don't criticize personality by looks or whatever. Because who am I to judge someone by the way they look? But what I heard wasn't any different than what I've heard from many people before. When I go to Instagram, I look at the comments on some videos, and people would say, "He's so dark like tar," or "Someone took a tan for too long in the sun," and then I would get really confused. Even my own dark-skinned friend said I would never be in a relationship with someone the same complexion as me. So being curious, I asked why. She said, "I don't want to have a baby that would be dark and have to face the same discrimination that she has on a daily. But I have never seen her face discrimination before because she's always with me." I questioned it for a while and I came up with a vague conclusion that because I was her light-skinned friend walking with her down the street, she wouldn't have been she wouldn't be discriminated as much if she was in a group with dark-skinned people. But I was wrong because racism happens no matter who is around. One time I saw her get discriminated when I was on this field trip with her in the 8th grade, and I was on the way back, and she was in front of the whole entire group, and then I heard this big commotion with her. So then I came up to the front. This white lady saw her with a group of kids the same color of her skin, and she said how she was going to call the cops on them out of nowhere. And it made no sense because our white teachers were right there, and she was being picked on. After a while, I began to realize what she meant by she wouldn't want to be in a relationship with anyone the same color as her, as messed up as it sounds. Now, let's turn the tables to me. I don't face discrimination from someone that's white, but I sometimes face it from my own race, which is hilarious. I always get this, "Look, Ling Ling," or "Why are your eyes so small?" Well, knowing I'm not Blasian, or the standard, "You're white," and all these different things from my own race. I don't think we realize it, but these jokes that even myself laugh at is discriminatory. Now, before someone comes up to me and asks, "Where am I from?" if I'm mixed, let me tell you a short story. When I was a baby, my dad was with me alone in the stroller, and, well, he told me this. People would ask him, "Where did you get that white baby?" Because my hair was actually very reddish brown, and I looked like a white baby because I was so pale. My father is a very dark-skinned man, so I can see what they're asking, but it is disrespectful because it's my father, and people are discriminating against him because he's too dark to be my father. Well, my mother and father are both black. As people would say, her complexion is caramel and whatever, but my father is dark-skinned. Me telling you the color of their skin doesn't make a difference though, because we are all black people, so there shouldn't be a division between us because of the color of our skin. As a matter of fact, we are all human beings and we all bleed the same. Understanding the concepts of racism and colorism is something based on bigotry and the fact that we are all scared of things that we don't understand. Colorism is an internalized racism that we invalidate ourselves and sometimes each other. We need to spread around that melanated love like I started to see on Instagram. If we are trying to put an end to racism, then we need to extend those cultural barriers and learn to love ourselves and each other for who we are. Now, let's talk about the component of self-love. According to PsychLive, a lot of people mix up self-worth and self-esteem. As self-esteem is what we think and feel and believe about ourselves, while self-worth is realizing that I am greater than all of those things. Therefore, self-esteem does not work without self-love. Okay, so who wants this $10 bill? It's a $10 bill. Okay, well, you want the money because it hasn't lost its value. And money never lost its value. So even if I were to crumple this paper, stomp on it, or do whatever, well, if you do rip it up, you could tape it back together. It still hasn't lost its value. So, to my audience, you have never lost your value. No matter how much you are crumpled on or walked on by the people around you, you must learn you have never lost your value. You are a valuable human being, and you will forever be loved and cherished by the ones around you. Thank you.